And one. Hey everybody, welcome. This is Sharita Lovelace. I'm going to give you a few minutes to come on. Tonight is Monday night. It is the night of the triumphant show with Sharita Lovelace. We're super excited about tonight's fun show. We have a lot in store. We have an awesome person to talk to. So we're just going to take a few minutes for you to share this broadcast to your friends and your family and to those that you feel need to be a part of this wonderful show and bring them on. And we're going to start in about 2 minutes. So hold tight and prepare for a great show tonight. I hope everybody has been doing good today. We have a lot to talk about and in so little time. So as usual, we probably won't get to everything. However, we are going to do the best we can. So come on into the studio for this live broadcast. I am so excited. So I'm going to give you just a moment or two to come on, just about 2 more minutes, and then we're going to pull up our guest and we're going to get started in just a moment. So come on. We're on this. Gonna wait a few more moments. Ready to come on live. All right. Okay, I think we're on. All right, everybody. We are going to get ready to start. Again, I just wanted to give people a few moments to come on to the show tonight, the Triumphant Show with Sharita Lovelace. I'm your host. And again, I'm so excited about my guest tonight that I'm about to bring up on screen in just a moment. But I wanted to share something with you before I bring you on screen. And that's also going to give you a chance to like and share this broadcast so that you can support this awesome young lady and that you can kind of see what's going on. And if you too have children or young ladies or young men that are interested or just need to be encouraged or inspired by life and what they do and their giftings, this is the show for you. I not only have my guest Celai West with me, but I also have her awesome mother. And so when I tell you a phenomenal combination in how they are structuring and rearing this beautiful young lady, you will not be disappointed. But listen, so I want to formally welcome you to the show, the Triumphant Show with Sharita Lovelace. As you know, our scripture comes from 2 Corinthians 2:14. I want you to write that down so that you can be sure to read that on your own tonight. And just remember that in everything, God still causes us to triumph. He still gives us the victory over and over again. You know, throughout this weekend, we have seen a lot of, heaviness. Even before Saturday came, I want to say maybe a day or two before, I could sense and felt just a spirit of heaviness. And so, of course, with the recent events that have happened, not only with the helicopter crash with Kobe Bryant and the 9 other families that were on that helicopter plane, it has only intensified the spirit of grief, spirit of heaviness, just a heavy weight. And so I woke up this morning and I had to encourage a group of women, and I wanted to just remind them what the Lord was reminding me, that we have to be careful not to carry that spirit of heaviness. We may not understand everything. We may not know why it happened, but sometimes when we're an open vessel, the spirit of grief and heaviness will come and attach itself to us and cause us to be in that place where God needs us to be strong for one another. So I pray that today, as you are going through your day, or even tonight, that if you are feeling weighted, if you're feeling, really hurt and concerned, that you remove that garment of heaviness and just put on a spirit of love and joy. Before this broadcast, I just happened to bump into one of my favorite worship leaders and Pastor Phil Tarver, and he was doing this awesome, brief, on the spot broadcast. And he was playing I have no reason to fear. The Lord is my light. Jehovah has the final say. You all know that song. Who has the final say? Jehovah has the final say. Oh my God. It is so true in everything that pertains to us. And even this weekend, Jehovah has the final say. And you know what? We can't fear anything. We can't fear death. We can't fear what's going to happen tomorrow. We can't fear what may happen to the sake of the families, because God has the final say on everything, and it's going to be okay. So I want to share that nugget with you, and I want to give a shout out also to the awesome men and women and those in the different nations for Vision TV. God bless you. And I just speak blessings over your life and over your nations. And right now, I just want to prepare to bring my guests into the studio so we can chop it up. So you all hold on tight. Make sure you're following this broadcast. And let me pull them up in here. There we go. Welcome, Celai and Mom. Welcome to the show. So listen, with you, I just want to share with you a little bit first before I have them begin to talk tonight. As you've seen the flyer, I call her a model who's beyond super. You know, we hear about supermodels and we know about the different icons in the fashion and model industry, but this young lady is beyond super when it comes to the word supermodel. I mean, she's breaking barriers left and right. She's done so much at such a young age. And I'm so excited just to hear how do they do this? How does this happen? And where does it come from? Let me tell you, this is the youngest guest we have had on the Triumphant Show. And I'm super excited for the fact that she truly has a triumphant story, just for the fact that she is just pushing to do awesome things. She's still a kid. We know that. So, like, you're going to tell us you're still a kid, but guess what? There's some awesome things about her that I think that you need to hear. So I don't want to spoil everything because I know that I want them to say it. And then what they don't say, I'm going to tell you guys all of it. But listen, I'd like to welcome formally to the show Celai West, featured in Vogue Italia, Good Morning America, magazine covers galore, runway models, runway videos that are viral. Welcome to the Triumphant Show, Celai West and Mom Linda. Glad you all are here. Again, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Welcome. So listen, it's so crazy because for those of you that are listening and viewing the show tonight, I have known Linda for years. I mean, her sister's my BFF, and so Celai, you just came on later on in life, before
Right.
we were all in school, and so it's such an honor just to be connected with you all's family in more of a personal way. And it's a blessing just that for you, Linda, to have a daughter that is so amazing. So what I want to first know, Celai, and I know the people that are right now listening and watching, to you are 11 years old. You're considered a supermodel. You have been amongst some of the highest icon models of America. How did you start modeling? Did you just walk through the kitchen floor and you just felt like this was your call? I know you started at a young age, and I'll let you share that. Or was this something that you saw and you felt you wanted to do?
Well, for runway, at first, no, because we're in Sacramento, so it's a pretty small area and there's not a lot of big events. So, my mom, she wanted me just to do the show, a show out here, just to see how it is. And then, so I did the show for the first time, and I was like, no, I don't know. I mean, it's cool, but I don't know if I do it like how I was with modeling. And then we met this guy, and he was like, "You ready for New York?" And we were like, "I don't know." So then next season, he asked if we were ready for New York that time, and so we said yes. We went. For that was the first time I walked in New York Fashion Week. I think I was 8. I was 8, and so I did okay on that. It was pretty scary. But then the second time I walked was in Madison Square Garden, and in New York Fashion Week. And so I did that, and my mom and my brother were like, "Oh my gosh, she's really good at this. Like, where did you learn this from?" But that's pretty much where it started.
Wow. And so did you have any coaching or training as a 5, 6, 7, 8 year old of how to walk, or did it just come natural?
It definitely came natural. I definitely am self-taught.
Wow, self-taught. So those of you that are listening and watching the show so far, I have 11-year-old Celai West. There's so much more to her story, so hold on tight with us. But I just wanted to get in how she started modeling, not only with print, but also runway walking. So, Mom, as you noticed this gift in her, how did you take it at first? Were you just like, yeah, let's go, or did you have any reservations because of her age?
Um, the first time, and excuse my voice, I'm a little hoarse today. The first time that I noticed it was when we were at Madison Square Garden. And honestly, I was like, who the heck is this kid? Because it didn't look like the walk that I'm used to seeing in our kitchen, when she would be practicing and we would have her practice maybe 10, 15 minutes a day, maybe 2 weeks before the show. So it wasn't like she was working super hard. We've never been into watching other people's runway videos.
Right.
I just wanted her to kind of be herself. So when she walked out there in Madison Square Garden, honestly, I was blown away. And there was no, oh, let's go, let's go. It was like,
Right.
okay, so what's next? So we were literally kind of flying off the seat of our pants. I had no clue what to do next. We were
Mm,
just like, oh, so this is her new thing.
right.
Okay, let's go with it.
Let's go with it. Yeah. So, Celai, when you were around all of these, by the way, let me say this: you're what, 5'7"? How tall are you?
5'4".
You're 5'4". I don't know where I got seven from. You're still tall. I just want to say you might be an inch shorter than me, but you're tall. Okay, for your age. How did it feel for you to be amongst some of those other top models that were in the back? What type of were they receptive to you at your young age going to New York Fashion Week? This young, beautiful African American young lady going forth, were they receptive to you? Or did you feel any, aside from your nervousness, any pushback?
No, definitely not. They were all really nice. My
Good.
mom's friends with most of the models that I work with. And so, yeah, no, we really don't have any problems with them. They don't have problems with me, and they're actually really supportive.
That's great. That's wonderful. So listen, I understand too that you have this, aside from modeling, you have a t-shirt line
Yes.
called Chatty Chick. And
Yes.
I love it. I've gone and scrolled through some of your t-shirts and I've got to get about 5 or 6 of them. And I want to make sure that we promote it on my page. How did Chatty Chick come up while you're doing this modeling? How did that evolve? Did that evolve way down the line after you started modeling? Or was this also in the process while you were modeling in runway or print work?
So that was about when I first started doing runway. I was 7 at that time when I started my t-shirt company. But I just wanted a t-shirt company to like for girls with hair like mine, with kinky hair, to show like how much they love their hair and stuff. So and then at some point, I don't remember how old I was, but at some point, we realized, maybe it should be more versatile. So now we have stuff that have to do with not, or stuff that doesn't have to do with hair in general, or stuff that can do with any type of hair. So like boys, girls with straight hair, red hair. But yeah.
So how did the name Chatty Chick come? Was it because you talked a lot or you wanted to speak a lot? How did that name birth? What happened?
Yes, it was because when I was a kid, I talked a lot, but
When I was a kid, right? Did you
yeah,
get
When
it?
I was
when I
right, when I was a kid.
when I was younger, I talked a lot, but I guess it changed at some point. But it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. I love the name with that. And so when we're talking about the hair, here you are growing in the industry. You're getting noticed by a lot of people for your gift. And mom, I'm sure you've noticed this expansion continually from the time she started on. Um, how did hair become a role or more of a focus as she grew in the model industry? Were there opposition or challenges because of her hair being natural as a model?
Not that I was aware of. That's kind of the strange thing. She started off even before she got on social media. When she was in kindergarten, her thing was, I want to wear my hair down every day. And I would get looks from the other parents like, why is her hair down? Why is it not tamed? Why is it not in ponytails? They would kind of give me these weird looks, dirty looks. And towards the end of the school year, I noticed that some of the girls who were in the fifth and sixth grade would be like, bye, Soleil. Hi, Soleil. And I'm like, oh, who are those girls? And she's like, I have no idea. But the one thing I noticed is they were also wearing their hair down. And so I was like, wow, that's really cool that without saying a word, just from being who she authentically is, she inspired these girls to love their hair and start wearing their hair down. So I was like, I wonder how this would play out on social media. So on her 7th birthday, we got her first Instagram account, and we kind of
Yay.
started posting pictures of her in her wild hair. She does not like a fresh twist out with all the definition. She will pout. She would get upset. She would almost be in tears. She wanted it as big as it could possibly go.
Okay.
So that's kind of what it started from. Then we started getting messages from other parents that are like, oh, my daughter hated her hair, but I started showing her Celai's pictures and now she loves it. And that kind of played into, oh, maybe you should, start a t-shirt company and put those affirmations, those words of inspiration on your t-shirts so that girls who are in that process of, I'm learning to love my hair.
Right.
And maybe if they have a t-shirt that says, thanks, I love my hair too, then they kind of get, more support. So that's kind of how it all started. But the pushback on her hair did start.
Right.
Unfortunately, I didn't know about it at the time. When we got to New York Fashion Week when she was 10, the designer said, you can do her hair any way you want to. I just want it natural.
Yeah.
So that could be a side part, a center part. You get free will to do whatever. We can blow it out and make it huge. We could keep it small. And so when I asked her, so how do you want to wear your hair? She says, I want to leave it just like this. And initially I was a little shocked because everyone is so used to her with the big hair.
Yeah.
And for her to have embraced her shrinkage as it was without feeling the need to blow it out to show off that one. I was like, are you sure that's what you want to do? And she was like, yeah. So she did it. And afterwards we got back to the house and I said, so what made you want to wear your hair like that? Right. And that's when she started to tell me the different instances that she was on set and she was treated in a not so nice way because the hairstylists weren't excited about doing her hair. And it really broke my heart because I was like, wow, this is a very defining moment as a parent, as a child. You raise your kids to believe that adults are right. And technically these adults are telling her there's something wrong with her hair. And so I was waiting for the hammer to fall, for her to be like, so I want to change it or I want to do something different. And the first thing she said after she told me everything she went through, she said, but I want to change that. I want to show little girls who look like me that their hair is beautiful. So that's the reason why I walked out there like I did today. And yeah, it was a very humbling moment for me, a very emotional, humbling moment for me.
I mean, I have chills. Celai, what did that make you feel like when what your mom is talking about? How does that make you feel? I mean, because you really have set an example for not only girls your age, but adults. How does that make you feel?
It kind of feels, it feels kind of good.
Okay.
Because, I'm setting, and well, not really. Am I setting an example? Like, how do I explain this? Like,
you're inspiring. You are setting an example. Yeah.
I'm not gonna help you out.
Yeah, inspiring. And like, yes, inspiring little girls that their hair is beautiful and that just because somebody says that your hair isn't beautiful doesn't mean that you shouldn't believe that yours isn't, and you should stick to what you think of yourself. And that, so, so you just
I think that's awesome. And for those of you that are just tuning into the Triumphant Show, I just want to remind you that we are listening to Celai West and her mother, Linda, and we're just excited to have them on the show. Celai has been featured in magazines, Good Morning America, and so much more. Her runway videos have gone viral. She's the youngest guest that we've had on the show, but also a supermodel who has modeled in New York Fashion Week and has been around some great icons. And so we're excited to have her on the show at her young age of 11. And this is not all she does. The modeling is not all you do, right, Soleil? There's other things. The hair has played a role. It has birthed through you a business of a t-shirt. You have inspired young girls your age, but you've also took a stance as a young Black girl who is doing wonderful things, who is courageous, who is bold, and who does it with so much confidence and humility. And that's the example that we need, not only for young people, but for some of us older people. So you're doing the right thing. But you also, and I think, Mom, you may have some ties with this, you also wrote an ebook. Am I correct?
Yes.
Tell us about the book that you wrote and why did this book come about? Let us know the title of it and how we can get the book.
Oh, okay. So, the book is called Parents Guides to Kids Runway and Parents Guide to Kids Runway for Black Girls. So the difference is from the regular one and for the brown girls one is because, or is that while we were on our journey, you could say, we seen that there's different things that you have to do to get in a lineup. So when I was walking with the kids, I was probably, most likely, the only Black girl, and so they don't usually like the urban stuff. So but yeah, but but yeah, that's really like the main difference. But everything else is just the same, and it's just some of the stuff are different.
Okay.
Yeah,
And so,
definitely
Mom,
different
yeah.
things. Right.
So it is this a guide that helps parents understand how to support your daughter, Linda, for when they're involved in the fashion industry as she is? Is that what the book is about as well?
No, it's actually, we get the question so much, how do I get my kid in runway? How do we do what you guys are doing? And I think that there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes of kids runway that most parents have no clue about.
Right.
So my book is kind of like an eye opener. Like,
Wow.
if you're going to get into kids runway, these are the things you need to know so that you fully understand what you're signing up for. If you still decide you want to move forward,
Right.
with doing it, then these are the ways to increase your odds of getting picked for a lineup. And yeah, when Soleil was walking with the kids, 9 out of those 10 times, she was the only Black girl that was selected. So
wow.
Out of maybe 25, 30 girls, they want one. So it's like, well, what are the rules to be that one?
Yeah.
What are they looking for that one? We definitely have a different set of rules. So the book for brown girls definitely goes over that.
Right. And so you as a mother, Linda, what are maybe one or two of the challenges that you've seen as you have watched your daughter develop and grow in this industry?
Well, I've definitely seen the lack of texture diversity. I see in Hollywood a lot. They're definitely catering to a curly haired African American girl, not necessarily kinky. I've talked to other parents who've experienced that, who have to have these super defined twist outs, and as soon as their twist outs frizz up, they're wrapped for the day, which means that they're like, "Thank you, you can go home now." They want to see these specific defined curls. They don't like frizz, they don't like kinks, they don't like coils. So if you're not willing to conform to their look, flat out, you just won't get picked. We don't experience that in runway. That's exclusively acting, and we do experience some of that in modeling. I would say the other challenge that we go through for runway would probably be the interesting comments we get.
Wow. Okay.
Specifically about her heels. So what people don't know, and again, it's a runway thing.
Right.
Celai at at 10 was one of the last children to wear heels. There's
Oh,
girls that are 7, 8, 9 years old that are wearing platforms already. And it's very common in the world of runway. So for Celai to wait until she's 10 years old is a little late. Um, Most people don't realize that. So the first thing they see is, oh, there's a girl who's 10, she's in heels, and we don't like it.
mm,
I get it. I understand it. It was a very difficult decision that her father and I had to make. Um, Lots of prayer. I will
yeah,
definitely say that.
I'm sure.
But I also feel like when God gives you a certain gift and someone tries to hold you back from walking in that gift, puts you in a very difficult situation.
Yeah.
And it literally became physically painful for us to continue to hold her back. And so I had to learn how to trust. I
Mm,
feel like the one thing that she does is she follows her path and her purpose fearlessly. I think that when we become adults, we learn fear and we become crippled and paralyzed
mm,
by fear.
good.
And so because she does not have that, I've had to learn to get behind her and allow her to follow and me follow behind her instead of being in front. We've just had to learn to create an environment where we can protect her all the way around, but still follow behind.
Right. Wow, that's powerful. So as you guys are being awesome parents and protecting her, following her, being mindful of her surroundings. I mean, you all are so involved and so supportive. And those of you that are watching and listening to the show tonight, I just encourage that if you have a child that is seeking, whether it's modeling or whatever gifted area that is, do the best you can to be engaged in that gifted area because you don't know what they're experiencing behind the scenes, despite the gift. But I do want to ask, with that, how have you tailored her education as she goes through and matriculates through school? And how is that? Is this a heavy load to carry for a young child?
What do you think?
What do you think, Soleil?
So no, not really because I'm homeschooled now, so I'm about to
Awesome.
finish 6th grade. So it's definitely a lot easier for us to travel around and me be able to do my work because before when I wasn't homeschooled, I'd have to make sure I do my work while I'm there, but sometimes I never really have time to do the work that I was given for those days that I was gone. So it's definitely a lot easier for me to be homeschooled.
Okay, homeschool. Fantastic. Fantastic. That's good. And so are you keeping up with your grades? You're doing good, right?
Yes.
Okay, good deal.
Yes. So
Now, what
I
do
was
you
very
really want to
meticulous
do?
with her grades.
That's good. That's good. So, Soleil, what do you want to be when you get older? Do you want to continue this career? You have a lot. You're CEO of your own T-shirt line. You're an author. I know more books are going to come out of you because you're just that intelligent. You're a runway and a print model. You're called all over the world. Is this what you want to continue for your life, or do you have some other goals and options that you thought about?
Yes, actually, I do
Okay.
want to keep doing all the things that I'm doing, but then I also hopefully want to become a fashion designer because
Woo.
at some point I was like, wow, this actually seems kind of fun. I just want to at least try it out. I don't know if I'm going to like it, but it seemed very fun.
That's good. Okay. All right. And so, Mom, how do you prevent her from being in a place of burnout with her gifting in terms of all the travel, walking the runway, just everything she has? What are some key things, just one or two that you could share if there's a parent that's listening or watching that we should be mindful of?
Okay. Well, first, that is a huge topic in our household because that honestly is my biggest fear of having her burn out right at the peak of everything.
Yeah.
Um, I think as a parent, our job is to provide, protect, and prepare.
Mm,
So
good.
I'm very particular at the things I allow her to participate in. And also, we keep the communication 100% open. And she knows first off, we're no quitters. So
Mhm. Good.
if you agree to do something, you have to follow that through and give it 100%. But if there's something that you decide you don't want to do, we're just not going to do it. I'm not the type of person where I'm going to push you to do something you don't want to do, but I am going to push you to be 100% of the person you already want to be.
Yeah.
So we do communicate a lot about that. I do check in quite often. I do have to force her to do lots of self-care
Right. Good.
and incorporate a lot of things that help create balance.
Yeah.
As she called it, I'm forcing her to be a kid.
Look at that.
But I feel like I have to help create some balance. I don't want her to grow up and feel like I didn't have this childhood. So we spend a lot of downtime doing exactly what she wants to do. We make
Good.
sure that we're only working on one project at a time.
Mhm.
And again, I'm very, very, very selective with the shows I allow her to do. There is no we're walking every weekend.
Awesome.
We're right between. We used to be 5 to 7 times a year. Last year was like 10. So we're like 7 to 10, but she was nowhere near the burnout. And I always
Wow.
check in with how are you feeling? But I also feel like I never have to remind her to give 100% on the runway. I may have to remind her to give 100% in an acting audition, maybe a modeling audition. But for some reason, runway seems to be her sweet spot where you don't have to say anything. I don't have to be like, remember Celai,
Right.
don't forget, So I think that's kind of her spot, her little sweet
Yeah.
spot. But I want to make sure I limit how many times she does it so she doesn't burn out.
Right. And those of you that are watching and listening tonight, we are interviewing Celai West, one of the youngest fashion supermodels for New York Fashion Week, and she does so much more. So you have to listen to the broadcast. But if you go on my page, I'm also going to share Celai's social media information. But if you go down on my page after the show, you will see a clip of where she is walking, and it is amazing. I would never want to walk next to her ever in my
Me
life,
either.
in my entire life. It's so natural. Celai, you look so natural. You look like you own that runway. You look like
Thank
no
you.
one can tell me anything. I know who I am, and I'm going to stand firm with it. I don't care if you are 30, 40, 50 years old or 10, 11, and 12. I know who I am. And I just hope that you maintain that confidence with so much humility that you have with everything in life, because people really get that from you when we see you walk. When I look at the work that you're doing, you're off to a good start. And I have to give kudos to your parents because they're really making sure that you stay on the right track. And I think that balance is so key. I do want to ask a couple more questions. One is, how do your siblings, your sisters and brothers, respond to your gifts that you have, and how you're out there in the world? How is that for your brothers and sisters?
Um, they're very
Good.
supportive of me. Usually, sometimes when I have shows in New York, my brother and sister will try to come out, and because
Wow.
that's what they did in Madison Square Garden. So I was happy that they came, and they're definitely really supportive.
That's good. That's awesome. That is wonderful. So, you still, you're still a kid. It sounds like you still do kid things when you can, whether it's catching butterflies, riding a bike, I don't know. But it's good to hear that you're not a working adult child. Like there's so many children that are in the industry, that are celebrities, and we hear years later and they just total burnt out. And so, everyone that's watching and viewing, we're rooting for you, to have that balance in your life, but to keep, showing out in the world. You are, someone who's worldwide. You're doing a great thing. And I love the fact that one of your titles is texture activist, because
Yeah.
with the growth of our natural hair and what we see in media and TV, and what we get and don't get, it's been a big deal these last couple of years, and you're part of this movement. You're part of this
Yeah.
movement. So what you're doing is great. And Mom, I know that you also do, you all do the videos, how-to videos on your timeline. Is that correct?
Yes, the hair tutorials.
Yes.
The hair tutorials, yeah. So those of you that are watching and listening, if you're not sure what to do with your girl's hair, you got to watch the tutorials to get some tips of what to do if you're unsure. I noticed on your Instagram, Cynthia Bailey follows you. Is that correct? And I'm sure there's
Yes.
more, but I just thought that was so awesome. Have you had the chance to
Naomi
speak with her?
Campbell.
And Naomi Campbell follows you, which is awesome. Have you met them in person yet?
No, I have not. I actually would really like to just to meet them, but yes, I
Yeah.
definitely. But no, no, but I
Okay.
definitely to.
So, family, those of you that are watching and viewing the show tonight, if anybody knows Naomi Campbell, Cynthia Bailey, please have them not only continue to follow Celai, but maybe they can reach out and connect with her. And you just never know what will happen. And you're a runway coach too, Celai, right? You teach others how to
Yes.
walk. Yeah, I mean, you never know. She may need you in her studio or her school where you could walk. I think that would be phenomenal here in Atlanta. I know you all are on the West Coast in California, our city. So
Mhm.
it would be awesome to have you come to Atlanta and be connected with Cynthia Bailey. You might be able to help walk in the school. So I'm just putting that word out there for anyone that is listening to the show tonight or watching, whether you're on my page, whether you're on the Vision TV page, that if you do know some of these awesome women that have made impact in the fashion industry, let's direct them to Celai. The last thing I want to do is there was one photo that really got me that I loved. Of course, I love all your photos, but when you did the Black Mermaid, there was such an uproar about the mermaid movie and the young lady being African American. But you took that picture in your mermaid outfit and your hair was free and flowing and large. And I think your caption was, because Afro mermaids do exist. Tell us about how that made you feel, because to me it looked like you were just being free.
Yes, it made me feel really good that my mom posted it at the right time because I did the shoot when I was 9. Yes, when I was 9. So but it was definitely fun too, and I really appreciate that.
Tell them what happened.
Yeah, how did
Uh,
that come about?
Okay, so yeah, so a lady she just wanted to do a shoot while I was in a mermaid dress. We were by the beach and it was just high tides in general. And so I was we were in the middle of taking a photo. And then so I was laying down, I think it was that photo, and a big wave just comes and pushes me out. And
It
then,
literally swept her away.
yeah, swept
Her
me
afro
away.
went flat. She almost drowned. When
Wow.
I say they got the shot at the perfect time, it literally was the perfect time because she only got about 10 that day before we had to call a wrap.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it was well worth it.
Yeah.
It was well worth it.
Love it, love it. Listen, everybody that has watched this show tonight, I want you to make sure that you know how to follow Soleil and her mom. She's on Pinterest with her items. She has the chattychick.com in terms of her website, Instagram, Facebook. But you all share, if you can, how we can follow and reach you through social media platforms, because everyone that is watching and listening tonight, I want you to go and begin to just support this young lady and her mother and follow and continue to celebrate the great things that she's doing. There's so much that's going on in the world, and she's just doing what she loves so well naturally, but also giving back to help support not only people that want to follow in her footsteps, but also the parents as well. And so I think it's an awesome thing. So you all share with us your social media platforms so that we know how to keep in touch with you.
Oh, okay. So all my handles are Celai West, spelled Celai West.
Slow down.
Okay, Celai West. And I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest.
Tumblr.
Yes, Tumblr website, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, and
Website.
I have a website, CelaiWest.com. And
Okay. Fantastic. Okay, Celai and Mom, is there any final word or comment you want to share with the listeners and viewers on tonight's show that we can close out with?
Just want to say thank you for having us.
Yeah.
And again, prayers up to all the family members that were lost in the helicopter crash.
Yeah, absolutely. Celai, anything on your end?
No, she was gonna say it. I mean, no, she said what I was gonna say, but no.
Well, we wish you the best. We wish you the best of luck. May God just continue to bless you. You're so gifted. We're excited to follow you and just keep being who you are. And hopefully in 10 years, we'll bring you back and see how far you've come and how many more young ladies that you have been able to inspire with your gift and just your personality of who you are. So thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. Everybody, this is going to wrap up our triumphant show with Sharita Lovelace tonight. Listen, if you want to be a guest on the show, you can follow me on all social media platforms, on Facebook at Sharita Lovelace or Sharita Lovelace Ministries, Facebook and Instagram at Sharita Lovelace, and stay tuned for the details on my YouTube channel. I want to make sure that you remember that this is the place where victory repeats itself. So if you want to be a guest or if you want to book, you can do that at SharitaLovelace at gmail.com or Sharita Lovelace Ministries at gmail.com. And just remember to keep God first in everything you do, and your plans will succeed. All right, we're going to wrap up tonight. Thank you for joining us tonight, and we'll see you same time, same place next week for the Triumphant Radio Show, TV show, whichever one you want to call it, with Sharita Lovelace. I'll see you real soon. God bless. Good night, everybody.
All right.